Hello, everyone, and welcome to J is for Justice. My name is Jay. I'm your host. If you're new here, please click that subscribe button if you like what you see today and give that video a thumbs up. Welcome back to J is for Justice, you guys. I have an update on Chris Watts' disciplinary problems in Dodge Correctional. I say that sarcastically. But the woman you're looking at right here is the Dylan guy that he became friends with in prison and ultimately gave some of his personal belongings to. This is his fiance. This is Dylan's fiance. And she's coming out of the woodwork with the Daily Mail. And this is actually Dylan. This is Dylan Tallman. This is the guy that Chris gave some personal things to. But his fiance is here to let everybody know, and her name is Krista Richello. She wants everybody to know that Watts and Dylan are merely good friends who found each other in prison and are not lovers. Now, I'm glad she came out with this info. She says, I know Chris and Dylan, and I know their relationship. They are friends. They are very close, but that's all that it is. Richello wrote to Watts after he was sentenced to 5 life sentences plus 84 years for the 2018 murder of Shanann, Bella, Celeste, and Nico. But the killer received so much mail from female admirers that he passed Krista's letter off to Tallman in return for a cinnamon bun and a packet of ramen noodles. Miss Krista denies that there was any such trade for her companionship. She is a clinical psychologist who specializes in sexual abuse and trauma cases and says that she worked inside the Connecticut prison system, but she had to quit due to her lupus, the same disease that Shanann suffered from. She is convinced that Watts was railroaded into his guilty plea and that he was not involved in the killings of his wife, daughters, and unborn son. So this girl doesn't think he did anything that night. I watched the videos of Chris Watts with his family and his wife. It was really difficult for me to believe clinically that he was capable of committing the crime. I wrote to him regarding getting the truth out. I told him to keep fighting and let him know there are people to support him. And this girl, Richello, is a regular guest on Armchair Detective. Wow. I didn't realize this involved another YouTuber. Okay, so I'm reading this fresh with you guys, just so you know. Let's see. Dylan Tallman has been in and out of prison throughout his adult life. He wrote her back within a week, and they started a correspondence that led him to proposing over the summer. She now refers to herself sometimes as Krista Tallman, although she has not legally changed her name. She told DailyMail.com that she traveled to Wisconsin to meet Tallman 3 times before the COVID pandemic shut down visits. Since then, she has relied on Zoom meetings, phone calls, and more than 100 letters to keep in touch. I wonder if her and Miss Anna had lunch together after their visits there at Dodge. Here are some pictures of Dylan I'm showing. Those are really rich. So Dylan was placed in solitary and lost his phone privileges for 4 weeks. And Watts lost his phone privileges for 2 weeks. And he's barred from buying commissary for 4 weeks. Richello said Watts and Tallman had adjoining one-man cells inside Dodge. They discovered they could hear each other if they spoke into an electrical outlet in the wall that separated them, which they dubbed the holy outlet. She said both of them have turned to religion inside the maximum security prison. He's delightful. He's just great. He's wonderful, she gushed. I feel comfortable enough with Dylan to be able to marry him and jump right into a relationship. I've gotten to know him very, very well. I know Dylan is not gay. Because of the relationship he and I have, we have talked about our plans for the future. I would love to start a family with Dylan. I only have a few years left. I have no problems with homosexuality at all, but Dylan is heterosexual and Christopher's heterosexual. I can assure you there was no sexual relationship between them. They were placed in, so the two guys have been placed in separate units after a pair of Watts Fruit of the Loom boxers were found in Tallman's cell, along with several items that Watts had bought from the prison commissary. It is a breach of prison discipline for one inmate to give items to another. The other items were petroleum jelly, candy, soap, Q-tips, cocoa butter, Carmex lip balm, secret deodorant, coffee, body powder, Post-it notes, a black Sharpie, lotion, and baby oil. Lots of liquid in that commissary order. So then Richello goes on to explain that the petroleum jelly is Vaseline. It's definitely not lube. It's Vaseline. And the boxers were brand new and clean. They weren't ones that Chris had used. Richello said the punishment far outweighed the crime. It wasn't any shanks. It wasn't anything sharp, anything dangerous. It was just daily living items, she pointed out. Were they aware they were not supposed to do that? Of course. But it was hygiene items, nothing serious. We all need to brush our teeth. We all need to shower. We need deodorant. We need lotion. We need Q-tips. These are all normal items to have. Of course, Richello, we do need Vaseline and baby oil too. Because I know I've got those two things on hand 24/7. At any rate, she says that Watts and Tallman have written 2 books of Christian devotionals together since meeting behind bars. She was brought up a Roman Catholic, and her mother practiced witchcraft and was a Wiccan. She said the books should be published around the new year. And then there's a picture of Dylan sending her what the book cover should look like. So apparently she must be helping them. And then here are some writings of Chris. Look how nice he writes, though. He has some very nice writing. So here is a close-up there of Richello. She says she is in contact with Watt's parents. Although she would not talk about their view of their son's case, she said, they're a lovely family, they're amazing, and in their hearts, they know their son, and they know who they raised. She says, Chris was trying to help out a friend. They spent 9 months side by side, talking through the outlet for 23 hours a day, and they became very friendly. One thing about Dylan, he takes forever to get ready. Everything has to match. He has to lotion up. That's why the Vaseline was there. He uses it for his lips. He has dry skin. He likes to take pride in how he looks, even in prison. He still wants to be clean. He still wants to look good. So now the only time the two guys see each other is when they go to church or happen to pass in the hallway. But they write continuously and stay in touch to talk about Christian books they want to publish. It's difficult for Dylan, she says. He's having a hard time without Chris next to him in the cell. They call each other brothers in spirit. In one of his letters, Dylan asked, who would ever think someone like me, who grew up on the streets selling drugs, a gangbanger, would become best friends with someone who had a great family life and went to school? He told her that he had been around murderers and criminals his entire life and did not believe Watts was capable of killing his family. So I guess this is where Cindy Watts was given this girl's number and asked to call her and let her know what was going on. So Cindy gave this lady a call and let her know that her fiance was in solitary for a month. Now here's a little tidbit about Dylan. He was born in Detroit and had a minor rap career under the name Little D. He wrote a book called A Blessing in Disguise based on his growing up in the streets and dealing drugs. He has been jailed for offenses ranging from armed robbery to selling cocaine and illegally obtaining prescriptions. So, yeah. All right. So there's the latest on the Watts saga. Not so much, but it made the Daily Mail. So I thought I would talk about it, bring it to you. I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great day.